For example number 1 on section 4.8, now 4.8, sometimes the discriminant, right, if this is less than 0, all right, now that's a fancy math way of saying that I have a negative discriminant. What we'll end up with is we'll end up with a complex solution. Now what that means is I won't get like a number. A complex number looks like this, where this is what we call the real component of the number, and this is what we call the imaginary. And basically, the square root of -1 is actually equal to I. I squared is equal to -1. So if I have a negative square root, remember that in the quadratic formula, I've got negative b plus or minus the square root of the discriminant all over 2a. If the discriminant is negative, then my solution is going to be complex. Now, you would say, Mr. Adams, why do we want this complex number stuff? Well, sometimes we'll solve for a complex solution, and then we square the complex solution, and so we'll have complex numbers that when we square them, they actually become real numbers and stuff like that in the practical sense. But nonetheless, we want to solve and study the behavior of quadratic equations. So let's crank through here, and let's do an example problem first. So if I look at example number 1, okay, I have the square root of -18. Well, remember that the square root of -1 is equal to I. So I can take this equation and split it up as the square root of -1 times the square root of +18. Or I times the square root of 18. But in reality, what we like to do is we have a tendency to put the I either in the front or in the back. This textbook likes for you to write it in the front. Some textbooks prefer that you put the I in the back. Now we're not done yet because this 18 could be broken down. What I like to do, remember this, 2 squared equals 4, 3 squared equals 9, 4 squared equals 16, 5 squared is equal to 25. Remember all your perfect squares. Well, 9 goes into 18. In other words, this could be the square root of 9 times the square root of 2, because 9 times 2 is 18. And this is I. Well, if I go down one more, the square root of 9 is 3. Or you could say 3 times I times the square root of 2. One of the things I learned from one of my Brazilian friends is that you can put a little tail on the end of your square root, and that helps you to identify what is under the radical sign. So you'll see Mr. Adams do that a lot with you guys.